Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Thursday, June 30th, and this is the MLB DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be doing a quick little recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out. Talking about my core plays for today, it is a 5-game main slate, a very small main slate overall. I would recommend playing a little bit lighter today, just due to the size of the slate and some of the options that we do have available today. And then after that, going over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talking about my top GPP stacks for today. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. At the pitcher position, went with Michael Kopech at $8,900, got to 25 points. He was a push. This was kind of just a play to be a little bit different yesterday, save a little bit of money, did not end up panning out. And then a catcher with JT Realmuto, been hitting the ball very well as of late. $3,000, only got 3 points yesterday, so he was a push as well. Then we had Bo Bichette, $3,300. He was a guy that had pretty decent history yesterday. Unfortunately, only got to 3 points, so he was a push as well. Then we had Nick Senzel at $2,500. Got to 6 points, gave him a push as well. You know, for $2,500, 6 points isn't bad, but looking for just a little bit more yesterday. And then last but not least, we had George Springer, 21.7 points at $3,500, so he was a hit. So a little bit rougher slate yesterday. You needed some pretty good picks as well as these 5 to cash yesterday, but it was still possible. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my picks for today. As I mentioned, it is a 5-game slate overall. It's a very uninviting slate for pitching overall. I went with Logan Gilbert at $10,400, averaging about 36 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Oakland A's, who do not have the best offense by any means. So definitely a ton of upside for him. I expect him to be very, very, very popular on today's slate. So look out for Logan Gilbert. If you want to get a little bit different, you can look at some of the other guys that do have in the cheat sheet as well. Then we're going to move down to first base with Joey Votto, $2,600. Averaging just under 8.5 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Chicago Cubs and Kyle Hendricks today. He is 15 for 38 with 5 home runs in his career versus Kyle Hendricks. Pretty much the best history of any hitter versus any pitcher today. So Joey Votto is definitely going to be in play. And Kyle Hendricks, yes, he pitched very, very well the last time out, but for the most part this year, he's not been very good. Then we're going to move down to shortstop with Willy Adames at $3,500, averaging over 11 fantasy points per game on the season. 2 for 6 with 1 home run versus JT Brubaker, the starting pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates today, so it could be some upside there as well. Then we move down to the outfield. We're going to go with Randy Arozarena, $2,900. Not had the greatest start to the season, but starting to come along as of late. Averaging about 10 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Toronto Blue Jays and Yusei Kikuchi today. He's 2 for 6 with 1 home run versus him in his career. So I do like that play today. And then we're going to move down to his teammate in the outfield as well with Harold Ramirez at $2,300, averaging just over 7 fantasy points per game on the season. A guy that's been starting to hit the ball pretty well as well. And he's 2 for 3 versus Kikuchi in his career. So definitely has some upside in these Tampa Bay Rays hitters today. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you have $13,300 remaining, just over $3,300 per player. So there is a little bit of room to pay up for a top priced option, although nobody's super expensive on this slate overall. So maybe a more balanced approach is something you look at today overall. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talk about my top GPP stacks for today. So the ones that I do have for today are going to be the Milwaukee Brewers going against JT Brubaker of the Pittsburgh Pirates. A lot of these hitters have hit him pretty well in the past. Obviously, Willy Adames is in my core picks, but we got Rowdy Tellez coming off a very strong day. We got Christian Yelich. We got Tyrone Taylor's there as well, Luis Urias. There's a couple different options that you could go with this Milwaukee team overall today. Even Jace Peterson has a home run versus Brubaker in his career. Then we have the Tampa Bay Rays going against Yusei Kikuchi of the Blue Jays, who's not pitching well by any means. So kind of take your pick with the Rays hitters. 2 of them did make my core 5. Then we have the Cincinnati Reds going against the Chicago Cubs and Kyle Hendricks. This Reds team has very, very good history versus Kyle Hendricks. Yes, he had a very, very good start last time out. But outside of that, like his very first start of the year, he has not pitched very well at all this season. So there is a lot of upside there. And then last but not least, I threw in the Toronto Blue Jays going against Jeffrey Springs. Some of these hitters have pretty decent history versus him. So could be some upside there as well. But with that being said, these are my core 5 picks as well as top GPP stacks for today, June 30th. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's someone from my core 5 picks, whether it's someone from my top GPP stacks, or whether it's a completely different player you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you have to say. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, mainly MLB at this point in time. But once we get back around to the NFL and NBA regular seasons, I'll be covering those two sports as well. And then with that being said, if you're a newer current subscriber who's yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.